All right, so I wanted to take another minute, another quick video. This it probably won't be under a minute because this one will take a little bit longer to get into and break down, but I'll try to get it in like just 5 to 10 minutes because this study and this graph are such a powerful silver bullet to so many vaccine hesitancy and vaccine hysteria proponents' favorite claims. And so what we're looking at here, this is what's called a skewed to the left histogram. It's called skewed to the left because as you can see on the right side of the chart, you got big old bars that go very high and they slant down and skew to the left until there's just that tiny little tail that vanishes off into no man's land. It's got a typical J-shaped exponential hockey-shaped curve to the right, and what this graph shows us, it shows us so many things. It's hard to know where to begin with it. So first of all, talking about the skew to the left nature of the chart, what that skew to the left means, that rightmost bar, that is the bar that represents people with the highest number of epi inoculations available. Epi inoculated against 14 diseases. You can see in the top of the chart there, there's the color code key, and as well as all of the pathogens those vaccines prevent from causing infections and illness in people who are have them inverted into their system. And so that's the rightmost bar, and then on the leftmost bar is the complement population, the population of people who have no vaccines, none of these epi inoculations. And as you can see, the bar on the right is massive while the bar on the left is extremely small. And what that means data wise is that the fully inoculated population, the population that has all of the epi vaccines, their mean age of death is almost a full 70 years higher than people who have none of the epi vaccines. And that means that's just the average. So some people live even longer than that, than the unvaccinated complement, some a little bit less, but somewhere in there is this true population mean between like 65 to 70 years that people who are fully inoculated with the epi inoculations live longer than people with no inoculations. And what that means is that of enormous number of the deaths prevented by these vaccines were in babies or people 5 years or younger. The study looked at over 100 million cases, and they found that this was recapitulated by the data. So over 95% of those cases in which a person had their life saved or their health protected by one of these epi inoculations, over 95% of those cases were in somebody 5 years or younger. So anti-vaccine movements are extremely dangerous to children of young age between 5 to 7 and younger. These are the people harmed most by vaccine hesitancy and anti-vaccine hysteria. What you also notice is that the higher mean age of death is correlated with the higher number of vaccines. So anti-vaccine proponents like to say, oh, there's just too many vaccines. It's too many. It's bad for you. We should give less vaccines. This chart shows the exact opposite of that, that the person who has all of the epi vaccines benefits the most from inoculation in such a way that they are on average going to live around 70 years longer than somebody with no vaccines. So the study estimates that vaccination has averted 154 million deaths in the last 50 years, and the vast majority of these deaths, about 146 million, were children under 5 years old. It had a massive impact on infant mortality, as you can therefore extrapolate. Uh, it was a precipitous drop of, gosh, 50%, 40%. It was over 40% drop in infant mortality. And of the 90% of the over 90% of the 154 million were children 5 or younger. Over 60% of them were literal infants, babies, newborns, 6 months old, that were just getting their first round of inoculations. Uh, so the study concludes that Epi had made the single greatest contribution to improved infant survival over the past 50 years. While significant progress was made, the study highlights accelerated efforts are needed to address challenges like stagnant vaccination rates and vaccine misinformation to reach global immunization targets. It underscores that equitable, universal access to immunization is crucial for sustaining health gains and saving lives from preventable infectious diseases. The study, it just absolutely dunks on anti-vaxxers. So many of their points it completely destroys. So many of their favorite pet arguments, primarily the too many vaccines one, it just absolutely obliterates that. So if you're concerned about giving your kid too many vaccines, you should be concerned that they might live too long and be too healthy, because this is what the chart indicates. I can compel everybody watching this video, instead of going into the comments and typing a bunch of angry disagreements, go look at this study, read the study. They tracked pathogens in individuals who had been immunized and were able to, using medical records, extrapolate that vaccines had either saved their life or protected their health. It restored 10.4 billion years of life to these 150 million plus subjects and protected their health, which is how you get the figure that the fully vaccinated population's mean age of death is almost a full 70 years higher than unvaccinated people. It oversaw a precipitous drop in infant mortality of something like 40%. Uh, this study is such a powerful refutation of so many anti-vaccine claims, and this graph shows it beautifully. If you understand what the graph means, it's fairly simple to explain. It's really simple and easy to look at it and see that massive, mind-blowing trend that some extreme, wild data, significant levels of standard deviation, and a significant skew to the left. The data could not be more clear on this. Vaccines save lives, they protect health, and they, most importantly, drive massive, precipitous drops in infant mortality. So if you want more dead babies, keep lying and screaming about how vaccines are bad. But if you like babies living and being alive and healthy, maybe consider that you shouldn't be so confident in the things you think, and possibly consider just keeping your mouth closed. Thanks. Hope this helps.